What's going on, everybody? It's Brendan Strable here, and I am coming at you directly off of the trainer to share my favorite tips and tricks to surviving the indoor winter riding season. It's no secret that the indoor riding season can start to feel a bit stale after a while. You've listened to the same playlist 100 times, you've ridden the same route over and over again, and you're just itching to get back out on the open road. But for a lot of us, we have a long way to go before it gets warm enough to think about riding outside. With that being said, let's get into it. First, I'm going to start with the basics. You're going to want a nice fan blowing that cool air on you, keeping your core temperature down. Make sure you're fueling properly, you're taking in enough fluids, and when you're inside, it's always a good thing to think about filling up one of your water bottles with a product like Element, salt with 2 T's, or just some basic table salt, just a little sprinkle to make sure you don't get dehydrated while you're on a long ride. I've learned the hard way also that when you're inside in a very stationary position, if you don't have things like a rocker plate, it can highlight a pain or discomfort that you're having when you're normally out on the road. So make sure your fit is dialed in as well. I would also suggest investing in a very nice pair of bibs. You're going to be sitting in this seat, on the seat, a lot longer than you're probably used to outside. And a good pair of bibs is key to keeping your butt in good shape throughout the winter season. During very long rides, 2-3+ hours, I try to really remember to stand up at least every 15 minutes. What this does is it allows you to chunk the ride into 15-minute segments where you stand up after that first 15 minutes and maybe you ride for about a minute out of the saddle, and then in another 15-14 minutes you're going to be able to stand up again, and that's going to get you through that long ride in kind of like an interval-y sort of way. It's really easy to just stay glued to the seat for an entire 1-2 hour ride, and then you're going to be like, wow, my butt is really sore, and it's going to be really hard to continue on when your butt isn't feeling so hot. It's not going to make you want to get back on the bike. So with those basics out of the way, let's get into the real tips and tricks that I've picked up over the years of riding inside. 1. Ride dynamic routes. Don't just ride flat routes that are going to keep you in your seat the whole time, keeping you at the same cadence and the same power. You want to be up and moving as much as you can. There's so many great routes to choose from, and you don't just have to do TikTok and Tempest Fugit over and over again. The key to surviving the indoor Zwift season is to keep your mind engaged. Don't be afraid to climb. Remember, what goes up must come down. I've found that the less time spent in the saddle, the better. Something that a lot of people don't realize is that when they're outside, they're standing up and sitting down a lot more than they are when they're just inside. It's really easy to be glued to your seat inside, and after 45 minutes, you haven't stood up once. But when you ride dynamic routes, that's going to keep you standing up, sitting down, changing your cadence, shifting your weight like you would when you're outside. Don't be afraid to select a route with a lot of elevation gain. The key is to keep this fun and engaging. And routes that take you up a big climb and down a big descent, that's pretty fun. But just going around in circles over and over again, that's not so fun. Drop in the comments what your favorite route is to ride on Zwift. My next favorite thing to do while riding inside is to ride with a pace partner. Pace partners are great for learning how to ride in a big group efficiently. They're led by a programmed rider that sticks to a specific watt per kilogram throughout the entire ride, that go up climbs and down descents at the same watt per kilogram, so they keep the group together. You can push your pace out in the front of the group, or you can just hang in the back, but it will teach you how to ride in a group very efficiently. This is also great in Zwift for earning extra XP and earning drops to buy things like new bikes, new wheels, kits, you name it, in the Zwift store. Pace partners are also great for challenging yourself and keeping your mind engaged. If you're feeling strong one day, you can hop on with a pace partner group that might be a little bit out of your comfort zone and pushes your heart rate and your power up to something that you're not used to riding in, or maybe in your zone 3 or 4, and you can see how long you can hang with them. This is especially good for if you're training to ride in some Zwift races and to see how the drafting works. Other than things within the world of Zwift, something I really like to do is to switch up my music, or focus on an artist's entire discography. Sometimes you have a long ride to tackle and you're like, what am I gonna listen to? Well, something I like to do is to pick a band or an artist that I like and simply listen to all of their music in chronological order. It takes up a lot of time, and if you map it out right, you can figure out, can I listen to this artist's entire discography based on how long every album is? Sometimes you can. It's really easy to listen to the same music over and over again, and it gets really stale, and you just need something new. And if you listen to the same thing over and over, it's gonna get boring after a while. Drop below in the comments what your favorite artist is to listen to while you're on long rides. Another thing I really like to do is to actually chat with friends on things like FaceTime, just a regular phone call, or a Discord server. I'm lucky enough that within my coaching service, we have different group rides that we all log on to at the same time, and we have a Discord server that we connect to, and we can chat with one another. And this is also great during races that we do, but you don't have to go that far. If you don't have a coaching service, that doesn't matter. Just phone a friend. Find somebody who's got a little time to kill and wouldn't mind chatting with you for a bit. The one thing I would suggest is that because of the fan blowing on you, it can muffle the microphone if you're just using something like AirPods. So you might want to invest in a cheap microphone that you can have off to the side, out of the wind, so that your friends can hear you. Lastly, some of the things that I would tack on from the beginning of the video, other than very basic things, are investing in some of the things that Zwift offers and other smart trainer providing companies offer. Things like rocker plates, steering, and the Zwift controls that allow you to really gamify the feel of the actual riding experience. I have used steering before, and it is a lot of fun sometimes, and it's great when you're doing a group ride or a race, so you can actually position yourself exactly where you want to be in somebody's draft, or you can take an outside line or an inside line on a corner. I haven't had the pleasure of using the Zwift shifters or the Zwift cog that you can get from most indoor smart trainers, but it's something that hopefully I'll get my hands on in the near future. If you think I missed something that helps you get through the indoor riding season, let me know below in the comments. I'm always looking for more things to enhance my indoor riding experience. That's all for today. Thank you for joining me. Like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.